Just letting you guys know you can check out my No Bleeps podcast wherever you stream podcasts or on my No Bleeps YouTube channel. Link in the description. Hey guys, it's Spilly and welcome back to Spillsuch. We are doing a very crazy weekly Teacap today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, from Tana Mojo being friends with Bella Thorne again, to Shane Dawson filming the day of his comeback and being totally scared and freaked out, to Ethan Klein saying he is not going to Trisha Paytas' wedding. Let's get into this right now. So first shocker of the week is Tana Mojo hanging out with Bella Thorne. This was definitely catching people off guard because everybody knows the beef that has been going on between Tana and Bella. The two of them have been throwing shade at each other nonstop all year long, and there's been just so much drama that has gone down between them. I mean, literally at one point in this year, Tana said that she would literally fight Bella Thorne. Like, they would get in the ring together and they would do a social media boxing match of the two of them. Like, seriously, it was very confusing to see the two of them hanging out again, but you know, anything for the clout. Anything for the clout. And I guess it's just not working out with Demi Lovato because, well, we saw that Tana was hanging out with Demi earlier this week, and now she's with Bella. So let's bounce around on these Disney Channel stars, and maybe one of these days it'll actually work out for Tana and she'll be with a Disney Channel star. But Tana was making jokes about the situation, saying that she was so scared and like, Mom, can you come pick me up, because of Bella recording her. So I don't know what was going on here. They were obviously at the same party and it doesn't seem like there's any bad blood, but I guess we'll just have to see how this all ends up and if the two of them are going to hang out more. Anyways, let's move on to Shane Dawson. So Rylan posted a vlog on his channel titled "The Day Shane Came Back to YouTube, An Intense 24 Hours in Our Life." And Shane put this video on his story. He said, "I love this video so much," and literally circled the title because obviously the fact that they filmed the day that Shane was going to be coming back to the internet, a lot of people are pretty interested to know what was going through his mind when he decided to come back to the internet, because there's a lot of people that are against Shane. And shockingly, when I reported on this, there were a ton of people that were sending positive responses to Shane for coming back to the internet. Like, they were loving his video, they were loving the series, and they wanted to see more, and they were excited to see this Shane come back and be on the internet again. Like, people actually did miss him. And so Rylan decided he was going to vlog this day, and he even mentioned that he had a little nightmare about the return of Shane, saying that he thought that it was Christmas Eve and that Shane's comeback was going to like somehow ruin Christmas, and Shane was kind of offended that he thought that, you know, the comeback was going to go that badly that it would ruin Christmas.
I did have a dream last night that this was Christmas Eve, that this was going live, and then it like ruined Christmas, but thank God I woke up and it's not Christmas. No, I'm just saying, like,
it ruined Christmas?
But obviously, like I said, it didn't actually go that way. But prior to actually posting the video, Shane felt like he was going to throw up and pass out. I mean, honestly, if I was Shane, I would feel that way too. But he felt like everyone was going to just hate on him, so he was kind of like prepping himself, getting himself ready for all this hate and not reading the comments and just mentally preparing for it all to just go very, very wrong.
Today is the big day that Shane is making his return to YouTube.
I'm so scared. I don't want to. I want to, but I'm scared. I almost feel like I am posting something on a channel that is going to get a lot of hate. Like, I know, I'm very aware of that. And I know it's gonna make me spiral and really sad and feel really depressed, but I'm gonna try not to. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up, pass out and throw up.
It's like the unknown. It's like, it's either gonna go really bad, it's gonna go okay, or like...
It's gonna go really bad. I know that. I'm aware of that. I just hope people give it a chance, and I hope they like it.
He felt like it was going to just be an awful experience, but he was still wanting to come back. Like, he loves making videos. He wants to put this content out there because he likes being creative. So it seemed like it wasn't really him trying to make something for other people, but just doing this for himself. He like wanted to have a purpose and put a video out there for him. And I mean, he says that he isn't really trying to care about what people are saying about him and how people feel about him. He's just kind of doing him right now. But he did want people to give his series a chance. Like, even if people didn't like him and they were just going to hate on him, he was hoping that people would actually like watch the video and be like, oh, I hate Shane, but this video is actually pretty good. Which I will say, Shane is very good at making any little tiny small situation very, very dramatic. Like, he really knows how to edit things in order to make it just very, I mean, we all thought he was poor for the longest time. So that just tells you how good of a storyteller Shane is, because everyone thought he was poor living in a multi-million-dollar mansion, crying in Gucci. let's not forget about that. But basically, hours later after he posted his big comeback video, Shane and Rylan were both talking about how they were absolutely shook at the response being super positive and people really liking Shane's video series.
Or shook. I mean, this has been like alarmingly positive, don't you think?
I mean, your mom said it best with with an emoji of her lighting up a big heart. I can't believe that people are being nice. Like, I wasn't gonna read the comments.
And Shane said he was completely overwhelmed and a little weirded out about how people were being nice, and he doesn't want that to kind of all go to his head. Whether people like him or hate him, he really wants to just keep level-headed and not to get too caught up in what people are thinking about him. And he says that he really does mean it when he says he doesn't care about public opinion anymore, and him and Ryland are really just trying to enjoy their time in their new home, not have work-related things affect how they're feeling in their home, and they want everything associated with their Colorado place to be very positive. And yeah, so that's what was kind of going down the day that Shane decided to come back to the internet. It went from very fearful to shockingly positive. But I will tell you guys, this next story, not so positive, because it's Ethan and Trisha we're talking about, and when it comes to these two, things are very dramatic, very chaotic, and honestly really sad because they're almost family, and to see Hila's family just kind of get ripped apart because Moses is clearly not on good terms with any of them is the saddest thing. And to think that at one point in time, Ethan and Trisha were on good terms and it was adorable seeing them all be a family, but then it all just goes so wrong. It just is so sad to see. But Ethan has decided to make yet another Trisha video talking about Trisha because, well, Ethan talks about a lot of hot topics on the H3 podcast channel. And of course, this week, one of the big topics was the fact that Trisha had those freaking rabbit chairs in their dining room. I mean, literally, I couldn't tell before because I thought it was just like the body of the bunny, but you can see the freaking ears. The bunny ears are still on the freaking chairs and they're just dangling there, and it's literally so depressing. Like, I can't. So Ethan was deciding to talk about this because Keemstar was talking about it and they wanted to, debate about these chairs since basically the whole internet was on Trisha's behind for having them. Ethan basically just starts talking about how barbaric they look, and since innocent bunnies are just seemingly dangling from the backs of them, he wanted to talk about how you kind of get bunnies to end up on chairs, like the process of getting that fur, and that was super depressing. That was really sad, and I don't think I wanted to know the details of that.
Looks like she took more than 5% of those rabbits.
He takes 5% of that rabbit. Did PETA tweet about them? They love this. PETA's gotta be on this, right? They can do a whole campaign about this.
I guess they might be.
During this entire conversation, he then started to crack up at the fact that Trisha announced that they were officially vegan when 6 hours earlier Trisha was eating KFC. Trisha said in their video that video was filmed a couple of weeks ago, so it wasn't like Trisha ate KFC and then immediately was like, I'm vegan that day. Even though Trisha tried to say that eating the chicken skin off of the chicken from KFC is vegan, I don't know, you guys. Some of the things that Trisha says, it's just so crazy sometimes. But anyway, people have been getting on Ethan anytime he's talking about Trisha. They were just like, you need to stop talking about them and let the situation be. But it seems like he just doesn't even care to stop anymore because the damage has already been done and he doesn't care if it gets worse. And that's simply proven, one, just based on the fact that he is talking about Trisha once again and named the H3 podcast highlights video Trisha is in hot water again. And we all know Trisha absolutely hates when Ethan uses them for clickbait or anything like that. So that was something that I just know really got to Trisha probably under their skin, but Trisha's on this whole positive journey, so Trisha's definitely not going to make a video being like, he used me again, but every time he uses them in the thumbnail and or title, it just upsets Trisha. So maybe he's doing it on purpose to just get at them. But he says that the two of them are no longer in communication at all. They are not talking, and that includes Moses as well. And he also added that he is not going to the wedding. Like, he's not going to Moses and Trisha's wedding.
People have been wondering, I am totally not in communication with Moses or Trisha. I don't know anything about what's going on in their lives. I don't know anything about the wedding. We are not attending the wedding because I see people questioning about that.
This tweet seems...
I wish them peace and love.
Which is sad. The whole thing, it's sad, like how this family basically got destroyed and doesn't seem to be healing anytime soon. Like, I wonder if any of Moses's family is going to be in attendance. Like, what's the deal? Like, is he choosing not to go, or he's just not invited, or like, was he uninvited? Like, this whole thing is so sad. The drama is like ridiculous at this point. I would hope that family would be at this wedding. I feel like that's what Trisha ultimately wants, but maybe it's like pride and so much stuff that's in the way of everything. So you hate to see it. You honestly hate to see it, because at one point everybody loved this family and now it's a mess. It's totally a mess. And videos like this definitely aren't helping. I will agree with a lot of people that videos like this talking about Trisha and using Trisha in the thumbnail, knowing that Trisha would absolutely hate it, definitely doesn't help the relationship. But I honestly don't know if it'll ever heal. So I definitely want to know what you guys think about this and everything else we talked about today. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.